Hello, I'm Liz Lumley of Finextra, and today I'm speaking to Roger Bracken of First Data. So Roger, there's been a lot of talk in the industry about how digital is really impacting how banks interact with their customers, and sort of the term du jour right at the moment seems to be omnichannel, which sometimes comes in for a bit of joking on stuff like Twitter. But what does omnichannel really mean?
So omnichannel is clearly, to your point, the phrase of the moment. I think when you render that down to what does it really mean for the consumer, this is about extending the online proposition from being a PC offer to a mobile offer, and recognizing the importance of the smartphone to the consumer, and effectively moving that content and morphing that content so that it's available in an easy to use way for the smartphone user. That in essence I think is what we would take it to mean, enabling the home banking environment onto the smartphone world.
So what are customers demanding from mobile services then? You know, there's a lot of reports that say, you know, stuff like balance checking still dominates. What are customers demanding now?
I think wherever we've made a proposition with one of our customers available in the mobile world, you know, and on the online world, what we find is a much higher level of interaction. So because it's easy to get access, if you build the app the right way, if you build the online service the right way, people will check more often. Now that might mean in the credit card, what's my open to buy? You know, how much credit do I have left before I go shopping, before I make a purchase online? When's my next payment due? So I can think about how I budget that payment. What were my last transactions? So there's a range of what you might call, you know, account service type functionality that people are using, and they're using frequently if the bank is getting that digital delivery right. If they're making it easy to use, people will use it more. And most importantly, from a value proposition, the consumer will value that relationship a lot more deeply. There was some great research just published on a well-known banking technology website. Oh, I think it might have been Finextra. Only yesterday, from Bain, we're talking about the impact that JP Morgan have had with their online investment, and how that customers who have been heavy users of that mobile capability have become more loyal and have bought more products and have been open to buy, if you will, more products from the bank because of the value they see in that relationship. So, you know, at one level, it's about providing access to services that may seem kind of rather day to day, but really it's about putting the consumer in control of that card relationship through an online service.
So of course we can't have this conversation without bringing up the dreaded R word, regulations. Do you think regulations sometimes hold banks back from providing innovative solutions to their customers?
Yeah, I think there is no doubt that the regulatory burden for banks of any scale is very significant. And this isn't about whether that's right or wrong, that's the reality. So what we find with a lot of our customers is they have, you know, most of their resource plan, or a good proportion of their resource plan for a year is consumed with analysing, building, testing, implementing this year's set of regulations, be they from the EU, be they from a national regulator, be they from the card schemes. So there is a significant requirement there for them to do more stuff, and I think it's, you know, a matter of record that the timescales around that have been foreshortened. So, you know, a few years ago people would have longer to think about what a change might be. Now, you know, take account switching in the UK, for example. Time to deliver that was really very, very limited in terms of the number of major legacy systems that get impacted in doing those kind of changes. So, you know, one of the things where we think we can really help retail banks is through, you know, giving them the additional capacity to not just have a system that is, you know, up to date with all the regulations, that is compliant with all those rules, and also meets all the technical standards around PCI and data security, but also actually can bring them new functionality. So I think there are other ways of dealing with the regulatory overhead, if you will. And you know, from a first data perspective, we think we have a lot we can do to help banks, you know, navigate around that through using us and our systems.